Some recipes can be daunting when cooking them for the first time. So, Tesco and Sorted Food have teamed up to help you with some of your food firsts.
Today we're cooking up steak and chips with an awesome pepper sauce.
Valentine's Day is fast approaching, and if you're thinking of cooking for that special person in your life for the first time, then this is the recipe for you. Here's all the equipment that you're going to need. To save time, why not take a screenshot of all of this?
And as for the ingredients, you need a couple of decent steaks. We've gone for ribeye, some butter, thyme, salt and pepper, potatoes to make our chips, and the sauce is shallot, beef stock, cream and pepper. First up though, the potatoes. Maris Piper are a good choice of potato for chips. Just peel them and cut them into chip shapes. That's about ½ centimetre across.
We think the best type of chips are twice cooked chips, so we're going to blanch these first. Put them in rapidly boiling salted water for 8 to 10 minutes.
Next up, the beef itself.
Now, to learn about steak, I went for a chat with Diane, who's a Tesco butcher, to find out some more.
We're looking for a cut of beef that's going to give us a really flavoursome steak. Which cut do we use?
Well, I would recommend this ribeye. As you can see, it's got lovely marbling and the fat in, which gives it the flavour, and it's really moist.
And whereabouts on the cow is the ribeye?
The ribeye is forerib.
And what's all this about aging process? What does it mean?
Most of our beef is aged for 21 days to give it flavour, and the mature is 28 days.
Okay, and what's the difference?
The longer you leave it, the more flavour it gets.
So we've gone for ribeye steak, and as Diane said, plenty of marbling. So for that reason, we're going to cook this to about medium, rare to medium. You wouldn't want to cook ribeye for any less. But if this is your first time of cooking steak, we've got a few tips to make sure you get it right. First up, take it out of the fridge a good ½ an hour before you need to cook it. It just lets it come to room temperature, it gets much more even cooking. Secondly, season the steak well, salt and pepper on both sides, and we're going to oil the steak, not the pan. Now you need a searingly hot frying pan and place the steak in there. Try not to move it around too much, but you want about 2.5 to 3 minutes on either side if it's a steak this thick. For the last minute of cooking, we're going to throw some butter, thyme and a whole clove of garlic into the pan to surround the steak. The best tip about cooking steak is actually not the cooking, it's the bit once it's cooked, it's the resting. So transfer your steaks to a warm plate, cover it in tin foil, and then leave it just next to the stove for 10 minutes. In those 10 minutes, we can make the sauce. We're going to peel and finely dice a shallot, add that in, and it needs about 5 minutes to soften off. Then we're going to splash in beef stock, reduce it by half, and finish with cream and 2 teaspoons of black pepper.
Now onto our chips. Our potatoes have cooled, so now it's time to fill a pan with oil, heat it up to 180 degrees, and then cook these until they're golden all over. Make sure you use a thermometer and never leave that pan unattended. Or alternatively, use a deep fat fryer. Another option is to lay them out on a baking tray, equally spaced, cover them in oil, salt, pepper, and bake them off in a hot oven until they're golden brown.
Once your steak has rested, pass all of those meaty juices back into the sauce, and then you want to carve it into chunky pieces. Pile on plenty of chips and then spoon on the sauce. So if this is your first time cooking for a Valentine, you can't go far wrong with this. It's steak and chips with pepper sauce, sorted.